Braincake is a delicious, sweet nourishment created by combining two or more grains.
The dogs howl in the background on a cold October night as we begin this braincake.
It's appropriate, too, that it's called braincake, because that's what a lot of people are going to be baking on this on Halloween. Have you seen
Brains?
the recipes?
No.
Every time I search our channel, I get a bunch of recipes for brain-shaped cakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, man.
So I have a feeling that that's going to be popular. Or maybe it's so unpopular, and we are so unpopular that we're below the lowest popularity cake.
I think that's probably the case.
That's probably the case.
Yeah.
What if you made it Red Forest? Red Forest, Red Velvet.
Red Forest ham cake. I wonder if there's anybody, like, that's the crossover, you know? That's the people who are seeing our videos, not trying to find them. People who are searching how to make a cake shaped like a brain. You think those people would like our content or no?
No, those people are blue-haired lesbians. And they don't want anything to do with our ilk.
And they're contestants on that show Hot Dog on
What?
HBO. It's a reality show.
Have you heard HBO is doing like basically Cars in Gotham City with the Batmobile?
No.
They're going to do a show like that.
The one I'm talking about, Hot Dog, is a contest between dog groomers. And I will say, man,
To see who can get the most fuckable dog.
they made them. They one of the dudes shaved cleavage into the dog because he was trying to get it to look like a classic Hollywood lady. He won. But hey, I'll say it was kind of wholesome because in the first challenge, you know how these TV shows go, he got something that he could use to stop his opponents for like 2 minutes. So they have less time, so he has a better chance at winning the second round. Well, he chose not to use it. It's like, I don't want to use it. I want to play this game fair and square. He still won. But kind of what I think, he played a fucking mental game.
He was like, oh, we can't be mean to this guy. He didn't even pick He didn't even use the thing.
He has
we gotta
to
pick
win.
him as the best.
Yeah.
He's such a good guy.
Damn, man. He seemed like a nice guy, though. So, but hey.
They always do. For a short period of time.
Oh, man. He dog groomed because his dad dog groomed, man.
He
He's
murdered
passionate.
16 dogs.
Oh, no. It's like that creepy pasta you told me about a long time ago.
Which one? The Tulpa one?
There's like...
Tulpa one. Yeah, the Tibetan thought form where the guy conjures up a fake version of himself that takes over his life. Yeah, that's the one. I don't know why the fuck I thought that was going to be the one.
No, it was something that... And I don't want to spoil the punchline here, but pretty sure it ended with a dog hanging in the bathroom and a message spelled out in blood on the wall. I shouldn't put
the one with the dog and the lady by themselves in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you recite that?
No.
Do you know it? You don't remember
I
it?
remember it by heart. No.
Damn. You seemed so much like you remembered it by heart whenever
I remembered
you said
it by heart a long time ago. Yeah. I've taken a lot of marijuana since then, and my memory is not what it used to be.
Yeah. I was going to say that'd be a great little Halloween jab for them to hear that. Just look it up, folks. You'll be way more creeped out if you read it laying in your bed anyway
Yes.
than having us recite it to you while you're probably driving in your car. So,
and you feel like there's two people in the room with you.
yeah, that's the thing about those late night dark searches that you can get into, going down those rabbit holes. There's this series on YouTube it's called Disturbing Things Found Around the Internet. And that's literally all it is. Just terrible crimes people have committed, weird Facebook pages that are creepy or, creepy voicemails, creepy fucking doorbell footage, whatever. Some of the shit is actually heinous and
creepy doorbell footage. Can you imagine if I told you if I told you 20 years ago, hey, I got a site that has some creepy doorbell footage, you'd be like, what the fuck is doorbell footage?
Well, I think that just probably comes down to my way of communicating is the problem. The spooky doorbell footage. I think.
No, people have cameras on their doorbells now. If I told you 20 years ago,
yes, I get what you're saying.
Spooky doorbell footage, you'd be like, what the fuck? What do you mean doorbell? Somebody's got a camera in their doorbell?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't want to go to that person's house.
Yeah, like home security is.
Yeah, it's a new thing.
Yeah.
Not for rich people.
Yeah, no, definitely not for rich people. They've had cameras and people standing at gates literally to open and close for whoever they want to let in for a long time. So.
How else are you gonna fucking blackmail politicians and shit if you don't catch them doing shit on your security cameras?
Ooh, oh shit, yeah, yeah. I mean, is it like what's the thing about having somebody else's yard in your security camera? Like, is that? I mean, I'm sure it's illegal. Is it? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Like, if you just set up your security camera and like you have your neighbor's fucking lawn where they like to sunbathe every day, it's like a fucking 80s. It's like that song Stacy's Mom, or the classic like girl watching the shirtless guy mow the lawn,
My question is, how the fuck are drones legal?
Yeah.
Because you can just fly those through neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be real close.
Dude.
You can be real far away and have it like recording footage and just go through a neighborhood. And if your drone gets destroyed, so what? You already recorded somebody's tits that's fucking changing or some shit. And you just got a drone.
Dude, there's this YouTube channel, right? That does drone footage of different cities. And me and Whitney watched one of Salem, Massachusetts, just, flying around, drone footage. He had ones of, like, Louisville. He had ones of a bunch of different places, just flying the drone around, showing the big parts of the city. It was cool. And we started going through his channel, looking at all the different stuff. And he did one of this nude festival. And I was like, wait a minute. So this dude can just fly his drone around this nude festival and like probably beat off to it later. I mean, not saying that he did do that, but I'm saying if somebody with nefarious reasoning got a hold of a drone, they could easily do some weird shit.
And it don't have to be that fucking grandiose. You don't have to record 7,000 people naked at one place. You can just record one person naked and it's a violation of privacy.
Yeah. I mean, that's the 21st century for you.
I was like, why are these drones getting popular? And I was like, people are fucking spying on the people.
I don't know. I think it's, I think for a lot of people, it's like the fascination of, everybody wants a bird's eye view, like it's something that you feel like you can only see in your dreams, like that perspective. And I think when you see that footage that you shot on your drone or you can watch it live, like it's a pretty cool experience and a way to see the world that in a perspective you don't normally get to see it.
And old people's titties.
Yeah. All the old people's titties you want to see. Just hope that they don't hear
a lot of them that you really don't want to see.
Hearing the whirling of the propellers outside of their window, What didn't Amazon talk about doing like drone delivery?
Yeah, and they decided not to because everybody was like, "Don't you fucking! I'll shoot that shit down." Yeah. He's got a fleet of drones.
Why were they so aggressive though?
The wealthiest man in the world has a fleet of drones.
Why'd they want to shoot at them?
Because they're going to be spying on us and shit.
Yeah, probably.
I'd shoot one down.
Yeah, they'll start putting cameras on them like, oh, we do this so we can geographically find you better. Amazon.com. Our boxes have smiles on them. So we'll never sell your information.
It's an arrow.
An arrow? Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Like, from here to
They
here?
make it a smile, but it's not a smile, it's an arrow. And what does an arrow do?
It points.
Fucking kills you.
No.
If you shoot it at somebody, it fucking kills you.
Because they have every product from A to Z. And that's where the A points to, is the Z on the logo. That's true.
That's gay.
Well, I mean, but who knows if they just didn't say that afterward, That was just something somebody like, hey man, We can sound really nice if we say that. Actually, that don't make you sound nice though. I mean, anybody can fucking put. I mean, come on, man. Burger King it has a fucking. Burger King to you is just the king. The fucking. Is that what Burger King is? King don't have anything. Did we talk about this last episode?
Maybe.
God.
We must have had a bad experience at Burger King.
I must have, man. I don't know what it is. It's their branding. It gets me.
I ordered a sandwich at Wendy's the other day, and they didn't get it right. That's bad experience.
Did you go in and yell at them like
no,
you should? No,
we're in Corona.
Fuck that, dude. That doesn't exist, first of all. Trump is doing fine. Second of all...
Trump is doing fine.
Second of all...
He's a 77-year-old man, ain't he?
These people are not human. You know that, right? Fast food workers are not human. They're lower than us, and they're cretins, and they all deserve to be spit on by Karens. You know?
Well, like Jim Cornette said, their one fucking purpose in this fucking building is to make fucking food. And if they can't do that, then what the fuck?
Well,
goddamn.
I mean, I'm joking. I don't want to make fast food workers feel bad. You shouldn't feel bad. If you do, you should fucking make it great. If your opportunity is to make a burger, you make that burger great. And sometimes if you want to fuck up, do that, man. Just have a good life. And I hope the Karens don't get you. But yeah, Jim Cornette had a scenario in a drive-thru, didn't he? Was it Wendy's?
Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah. He loves Wendy's.
Yeah. That's why there's a logo with him and Wendy's, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
That's Jim Cornette's drive-thru.
I mean, that's a struggle, man. When that, you never know whose order you fuck up. The thing is, like, somebody can be a alright person, but you just have a shitty day, and you go through that drive-thru, that's your last bit of hope, man. After a shitty day at work, you're like, at least I can fucking go to Wendy's, and I can get a burger and go home, and I can eat that burger and watch YouTube. And that's all I want.
I got pissed off. I had not had a good day. I smashed the fucking burger. I still eat it. Well, no, I ate a couple bites of it. I apologize, and then the cat got the rest of it, so...
Oh.
Not because I gave it to the cat, but because the cat's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't have left food out. The cat can get to it. The cat shouldn't be a fucking dick and get my food.
Yeah. Yeah, it shouldn't, man. And also, Trump's doing fine. Just thought I would.
Yeah, 70-some-year-old dude.
Reminder.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real weird how that happened.
What do you think about that for real?
What do I think about that?
Yeah, I mean, just your general thoughts on the situation.
Same thing that I always thought. It's a fucking cold. Go back to work.
Oh, fuck. What? Okay, never mind. I should have skipped over it like I did initially.
Don't let it dominate your life.
I mean, yeah, no.
We can't put people out of fucking work.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, don't let it dominate your life, for sure.
Well, reopen these fucking states. Mayor Cuomo and fucking Mayor de Blasio and Governor Cuomo are fucking jacking off New York right now. I mean, they're not jacking off New York. They're jacking off in New York right now. They're fucking up a whole economy that supports like a large section of the country. And same goes for the leadership in other states that are closed down. And it's not good. And the problems, the problem areas are all the areas, it turns out, where the masks are being worn. It's almost like that those population densities that require that shit is real conducive for a virus to fucking spread.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've heard people say that it's pretty rough, and like that physically it takes you, like, it could take you like 6 months after, and you still not feel like you have 100% like lung capacity and shit. So I mean, that's pretty dark. I mean, that would be really scary for me, So I want to avoid that, but I also, I don't want to live my life in fear. I don't want to, like, if that's how you make all of your decisions throughout the day is how to avoid coronavirus, well then you can just stay in your house and do nothing and waste away. you have to like get out and live. I mean, we have to literally to keep the economy moving. So,
and I mean, it's not like diseases are going anywhere. There's just going to be another one in 2 years.
Yeah.
Like we're going to get there's going to be another pandemic where the same number roughly of people that get the flu and die, and we're going to have that every so often. It's going to be in addition to the flu, so you're going to get slightly more deaths from different viruses. That just happens every year.
Man, you know what? I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
It's depressing.
It really is.
It's turned our whole fucking country upside down.
Yeah, and it sucks that something like that has to be such an overplayed like topic of discussion, because it sucks how things get desensitized, and like, you could cram something down America's throat for long enough, and eventually they just get desensitized to it, really. And I think I've noticed more and more people are like forgetting their masks and shit, like I think it's like slowly leaving the public consciousness, and once that happens, it's pretty much like it's gonna be gone, I imagine.
Well, I've been in many well-established businesses with no mask on. Nobody said a word to me. We
also live in a really like rural place too, where most of those people don't play by the book anyway.
Well, look how we're doing.
Yeah, we're doing okay, but we also have much more space in between each other as well.
That's what it all boils down to, is you need to spread the fuck out. We got a big-ass country.
Well, there are being these like mass exoduses out of California and New York and all these big cities.
Just gonna turn the whole fucking map blue.
Yeah.
Just gonna move all the Democrats out into the fucking country. This has been the plan all along.
But how do you think that's gonna play out? Like, if big cities aren't around, what do you think that's gonna do?
Big cities aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
They never have.
Yeah, they can't really.
No. It's the only way that people can really live in the population densities that we have.
Yeah.
Not population density, but the number of people we have, the overall population size.
I mean, it's crazy. Like, you look at the Kentucky population and you realize that, like, a majority of our population is based in, like, 2 cities. Like Frankfort, Louisville, Lexington. And that's where most of those people, when you look at the Kentucky's population, reside, are like 3 cities,
When you think about it, too.
And the rest are just hella spread out. So it's all this space where people are spread out, and then these like 3 or 4 spots where people are really, really condensed.
Kentucky is like the prime example of a state where it's like we have a big size. We have not a big size population. We have a decent sized population, but we don't have anywhere near the kind of population to where if we had a different kind of, like if we had a actual democracy, like if we had a real democracy, Kentucky would be fucked. Kentucky would be absolutely. We would never get anything that we wanted. None of our anything we would be like the backwater of America, the third world country of America.
Why do you think that?
Well, because right now, the majority of what Kentuckians want is not what the majority of people in California want.
Yeah.
And so California has the numbers. They could really, if we were in a real democracy, California and New York would be in complete control of our entire country.
Hey, man. I know Hank Williams said it. The South would have won. We would have had it made. God damn. That's a harsh fucking song title right there that's drawing a line.
There's this thing where people, especially people who are in denial, there are racists, who like the Confederacy, and I think Hank Williams is probably one of those. But there are a lot of people who are in denial and think that, if the South had won, they would have got rid of slavery too. It would have took a little bit longer.
Yeah, 100%, because it's just like fucking human rights. Eventually I feel like people...
I don't know that we would have gotten rid of it, honestly, because throughout the majority of human history, it has been the normal thing for countries to have slavery.
America was one of the last to get rid of slavery, right? But we were also probably some of the last to adopt it, considering how young of a country we are.
We were, as a country, was built on slavery.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, not just black slavery, African slavery, like we talk about when we talk about slavery. Like, the first people that came over here pretty much were slaves. They were indentured servants. And what that is I sign over a period of my life to you with the acknowledgement that after I get out of this servitude, then you'll give me my wages and I can leave and do as I please. And then the Spanish imposed encomienda on the Indians, which is like a feudal system of government where they were completely... they were basically like what serfs were. You know what serfs in Old England, people who would like tend to the Lord's land, and they're like a slave, but like...
Not treated inhuman, really, but...
Really even more so because they're just not acknowledged.
Yeah.
And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, they can kill you.
Oh, well, never mind.
And
so
there have always been laws about beating slaves and doing bad things to slaves. It's just that in America we really brutalized some slaves. The kind of slavery in America that we had, particularly African cattle slavery, was really, really, really horrific.
What is that?
That's like where we treated black people like they were just... Like, slaves always kind of had the dignity of personhood.
Yeah.
And we treated, because we saw blacks as inferior, we treated them as less than human. We treated them like animals. Mm-hmm. And
hence the term cattle.
Yeah.
I guess.
Not to say that other slaves didn't get beaten or raped or tortured or anything like that, but definitely blacks in America during that period in slavery had it worse than probably any other slave group in history, I would think. I haven't researched every slave population, obviously, but I mean, it had it pretty damn rough.
I mean, we have a brutal history, man.
The U.S. especially, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have the Trail of Tears under our...
Andrew Jackson. Old Hickory, they called him.
I mean, I look at those are some of the darkest pictures that I've ever seen, are like the pictures of Native Americans like kind of being Americanized. And I remember reading or hearing some of the stories of like how they were treated in those schools where they were supposed to be taught, you know, American life and stuff, and they were just so fucking completely insensitive about anything that they cared about. You know, it wasn't like, let's do a smooth transition into American life. It's like, actually, the shit you believe, that's all wrong. This is what you are now. And to, like, leave somebody as the shell of a person and strip them away of all of what they are into a life totally different, that in itself is dark.
But that's what we tried to do, that we tried to benefit them. Like, the stuff we did to them other than that was way, way, way more fucked up. It's just that we have documentation of that because it happened so recently. Like, we would tell them what we were going to do, and they would agree to it, and they kept agreeing to it over and over again. They kept making treaties with white people, and it's like they never fucking learned. But we would be like, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make this beneficial for both of us, and then we would just kill them.
Fuck.
Or send them onto a piece of land that they didn't agree to, or... I mean, I think we live in the area, if I'm not mistaken, where the mass exodus partially came from here. I think the mass exodus during the Trail of Tears of the Cherokee Indians, I think, came from in this area.
I mean, there's a lot of
different places where it happened. It was a bunch of territory that they were trying to clear out for white settlement.
But, yeah, man, you know, I think about that sometimes. Like, I'll be standing on my back porch and like looking out at night, and I'm just like, there's so much history right here. Like, everything I'm looking out at, there's been so many years of so many different things and people and creatures that have been right here in the
Imagine if you had been on mushrooms and you were in that same spot.
Yeah.
You would have had that same realization.
Yeah, I'd be sitting in the back of a car with my feet propped up on the ceiling for 4 hours.
You would have felt like your brain start, and then you would have swirled up into a spiral and ceased to exist.
I would have become
the center of your consciousness.
I would have felt like I became a black hole, like I was the star that.
No,
just
you
burst.
would have literally become one. It would have been the most earth-shattering fucking realization.
Yeah, that's
literally.
True.
Earth-shattering.
Yeah, but I don't think we think about that enough. I really don't, because just looking out and realizing what all has been just gives you a perspective of I don't know, it humbles me a bit, I guess, because I'm just another kind of creature in another time period, and there's going to be many after, just like there was many before. And I don't know, that's always been fascinating to me. I've begun to realize that, like, those things feel deep to me, like these existential topics, and they fascinate me to no end, so I can talk about them forever. But I just don't know if the average person could connect with what I'm saying right there, you know?
Well, I'd say that most people...
Like, truly connect with it.
I'd say that most people would hear that and it would resonate with them.
Yeah.
But I would say that most people also would be like, man, these guys must be stoned.
Yeah. Yeah, and how wrong you would be to assume that. My God.
Yeah,
My God.
You really are wrong for me, bro. I'm stone cold sober right now.
Yeah, and honestly,
Steve Austin.
I don't agree with it. You know, I don't. As far as weed goes, you know, I don't. You know, I have a lot of friends who smoke weed. I have, you know, I think it's not good. You know, I'm not gonna judge you for it, but you shouldn't do it. You're stupid if you do it.
Kills brain cells.
Yeah, it does kill brain. I mean, you can be stupid and smoke it if you want to.
Yeah, take you and make you a mad person is what it do. It's first gateway drug. Gateway drug, it'll lead you to the others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you know, this guy that I knew, one of my best pals ever had, he smoked weed one night. I told him, I said, dude, please don't. I begged him. I looked in the eyes, tears welled up and everything. I said, dude, put down the weed. You'll end up on meth tomorrow. You know what? He hit the weed, and out of his other pocket, he pulled out a crack pipe. He didn't even smoke crack before he hit that weed, but it just...
And it materialized.
It materialized in his pocket before my very eyes, and I said, wow. You know, I knew right there the effects of marijuana.
Yeah, you noticed the bulge in his pocket forming, and you were like, is he hitting hard? And then he pulled it out, and it was a crack pipe, and you were like, oh shit, that was magic.
Glass dick, not a human dick.
You didn't even have time to fucking react to it before you realized that it was way cooler and more important that he could do magic than that he was now doing crack.
Yeah, that's the tragedy of marijuana. The tragic nature
you can't see the literal
of
mysticism right next to you.
Yeah, I mean, it blinds you. It's so evil. I mean, it's honestly, it's tough. It's hard to see our country going down this road.
Is that before or after the tarot readings? Those are important, you know. They
tarot
tell
reading?
they tell you what's
yeah.
real. The psychic powers. They'll guide you to the truth.
Yeah. All through the cards, man, and those hotlines too, like 1-800 Genie Bitch, like 1-800 I'ma fix your soul, like call. Yeah, aren't there? Weren't I mean, I don't know if there still are. I'm sure there are.
Not Genie hotlines, psychic hotlines, absolutely.
Psychic hotlines,
and people get addicted to. It is easy for people to get addicted to psychic advisors.
I mean, my immediate reaction is, I wonder why. Could it be because they're telling you exactly what you want to hear, that you want to keep going back?
That. They're cold reading and making generalized statements about you that are true of most people, and when they don't work, they dismiss them, and when they do work, they say, see, I'm psychic. And some people are gullible enough that they don't look at all those times that they fail. Some people just look at the times that they succeed.
Yes.
And they're like, oh my God, this guy really is psychic. He predicted all this different stuff. And really, it's just they're good at cold reading you.
Yeah.
They're good at making you think that they have knowledge that you don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And honestly, if a lot of those people probably go into those wanting to believe it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Every one of them. They all believe it before they ever go in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Every single one of them.
See, it would be a very interesting scenario for me to go into one, because, like, I see them sometimes, like, they have them, like, in Tennessee, you know, like Pigeon Forge. You just be driving by, be a fucking whack-ass looking place with, like, psychic readings written on it, you know, and, I've always been interested, but I've never went in, because I just don't know. Like, it would be, I don't know what I'd be thinking about this person. It would seem so ridiculous.
You wouldn't be duped.
Yeah.
I don't think you would be duped.
I just go into it like to see where this person's coming from. Like, do they believe their own bullshit? Like, do they really feel like...
Some of them do.
Oh, yeah. I feel like a lot. I don't know. Would you say half believe their own bullshit?
Are you talking about, like...
Believe that they...
Are you talking about, like, people on TV? Or are you talking about people who are on the street doing psychic work?
As a collective. Just as a collective. Anybody
That's
doing
harder to gauge.
psychic.
More of them probably think that they're real. But if you're talking about the people on TV, that is the most staged shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Those people know that they're fake, and they are really good at convincing stupid people that they're not.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they can literally think of the first few questions you would ask them. Mm-hmm. You know?
Well, it's like, I mean, yeah, and if they've reached that level, they've obviously been doing it for a long time. And I mean, them just rattling off those questions and like kind of pegging the person.
They know too what I was saying. They know what you're going to ask them to be skeptical. Like everybody, most people aren't just blind. They're skeptical at first. And then if you can get past those first few little pieces of doubt, you can convince somebody of pretty much anything.
So you'd maybe want to start with something that you could easily guess. Like, what are some things about somebody that I could easily guess?
Well, it doesn't matter what you guess so much as it matters how you deflect them when they come at you with a question about your abilities. So they say, how'd you know this? That's what people always ask. How did you know that? Well, if they know you're going to ask that, and they can explain that adequately enough to try and mystify you. Mm-hmm. And then they say, well, why didn't you know this? And well, it's fuzzy. I'm only getting, and then, okay, it's fuzzy. And they're like, yeah, that makes sense. And psychic powers probably aren't perfect. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that fits in my worldview.
I mean, I figured it's probably like, I mean, you can ask, fuck. A question you could ask anybody that they would have an answer yes to is like, oh, I'm feeling something in the room. Do you have a family member who has passed on? Who doesn't have a family member who has passed on? Like, and then it's like, could it be, did you have an uncle? Did you have an uncle that passed away? No, it's not an uncle. What about a brother? No, not a brother. Well, I had a half-brother I did have a half-brother that passed away. He was my stepbrother. It was a stepbrother. The message was unclear at first, but now I see it was a stepbrother that had died. That's who's speaking to me. I mean, it's like filling somebody out and just playing them, just fucking hustling them, really.
You can learn it. It's called cold reading. You can learn it. It's an easy skill to learn.
I'm surprised.
If you're not naturally gifted with it. Some people just naturally have that gift that they can just cold read people. And they can tell a lot about them just from asking them simple questions and observation. But most people are not like that. And so when they meet somebody like that, they're like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
They're real weird and mystical. They surprised me. They told me shit they shouldn't have known.
Are you interested in like magic at all?
Yeah,
like,
I love magic.
I can't. I mean, I guess it depends what kind of magic. Like, I do think some of the stuff that David Blaine has done is pretty cool. I didn't really know much about him until he was on. Put another ticker on the counter at him. Joe Rogan. He was on Joe Rogan.
That was 3.
But he's a really interesting guy. He fucking coughed a frog up on the show, but the thing is, I'm like, you just put a frog in your, somehow I could, if I wanted to.
That's the kind of magic that I don't really respect.
Right, yes, me too, but he's done other things like fucking being encased in ice for days at a time. That is fascinating. Can I tell you something
about David Blaine?
What?
I only admire his card tricks. I think all of the other stuff that he does, those tests of endurance, those human limitations, I think that's all bullshit and it shouldn't even be considered magic.
What, you think, he isn't even actually in...
Because he's actually doing those things. He's not faking it. That's not magic. That's just psychopathy.
Yeah, it's not magic,
but... crazy
but...
person is what that is.
It's the way he twists it. You know what I mean? It's the, story, the spin he puts on it that makes it feel like magic. I don't think I don't think he claims to be magic, you know.
No, I mean, no, what I'm saying is what he's doing
He's just endurance tests, yeah.
is just endurance tests. It's not
So what kind of magic
illusions,
are
and
you
it's not-
interested in?
I like illusions. I like card tricks. I like saw and sword stuff. I like
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, like...
all kinds of different magic, except for stuff that has a trick element to it. Stuff that has if there's a trick element to it, I like magic. If there's no trick involved, I don't like magic. Because that's not magic trick, that's just a trick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I'm more fascinated by the fact that they can pull it off, I guess. Because...
Stunt is a better word
Yeah.
for what he does. He does stunts.
Yeah. That's like what fucking what's his name does, dude. Fuck. I brought him up on a previous episode. We talked about him with the lady in Las Vegas. But he did something Mind Freak, Chris Angel. Yeah.
Ah.
Mind Freak. He did an episode where he drove blindfolded through the city to a destination, and the destination was he always had like a guest, I guess, for the show, or sometimes did, and his guest, he took her as his passenger in the car to her favorite restaurant, and she didn't even tell him her favorite restaurant. He just knew. He just drove there blindfolded. Ooh. But I'm like, come on, man. What's the fucking trick here? What's the trick?
A blindfold.
Just tell me.
A blindfold that
There's
you can
some
see through
bullshit
in an
going on
agent.
here.
A blindfold that you can see through in an agent is the trick.
Yeah. And an agent, yeah. Oh, and by the way, Michelle, before we officially sign you up for Chris's show, what's your favorite food? Sushi. Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
Oh, they're going to have sushi at the block party. How did you know I like sushi, Chris Angel?
Yeah. Fuck.
Oh.
I hate that. That's dumb.
Chris Angel he's had interesting illusions. He's not a great magician either.
Yeah.
David Copperfield is a good magician.
I don't really
Penn
know
and
much
Teller
about...
are good magicians because they strip away I like Penn and Teller's deconstructed magic a whole lot.
What is that?
It's where they're talking the whole time about how it's a trick. They're exposing elements of the trick. But they're doing the trick. And
Yeah.
they're not you don't know how the trick is done until it's over, if you ever find out.
Mm.
And it's just Penn and Teller are they're masters at what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, that has to be there. That like fascination of how it's done has to be there. It has to override, to me, the fact that I know a trick is being done. And the fascination of the trick has to override the very fact that you know it's a trick.
Penn and Teller is like magic for people who want to be magicians.
Yeah, that takes a special type of guy to want to be a magician.
And to make
man.
it as popular as Penn and Teller is a fucking... They really found their market and they capitalized on it. Everybody that it could be into Penn and Teller is into them.
Yeah. Somebody's profiting off the mental warp of a Ouija board too, dude. Somebody found out.
Hasbro.
Yeah, Hasbro for sure. I had a Ouija board made by Hasbro.
They're the only ones that make it.
Yeah, but that's a good like little spooky Halloween topic. I mean, I had experiences with Ouija boards that are pretty weird and unexplainable. Like I remember one time I genuinely felt like there was this air gushing up from below the planchette that I had my fingers on, you know, and we had a friend who we were playing the Ouija board. It's like 3 a.m. and we were like, could you like wake him up somehow? And they said yes. And we asked like, did you do it? And they said yes. And we asked him the next day, like, did you hear anything last night? And he's like, something woke me up at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And we were like, But don't they say that the Ouija board is all just like subconscious movements? how is that not just looked at as a fascinating piece of fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that we can...
It is, and that's what... There's this entire branch of magic called, like, seance magic, and it's like you light candles, you get a Ouija board, you fucking do shit like that, and you trick people into thinking, and some people will just control it. They won't do subconscious movements, they'll just control it. Tell it where to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, maybe Jimothy, all throughout those years, maybe he was just fucking, he was in control, just playing me, I don't know. But, I mean, I really don't think he does, or, I mean, obviously, yeah, I really didn't think he was at that time, and I still don't think he is, but there were so many weird things that got unveiled, and it was like a weird bonding thing, and it was almost like
remember when we found out we're going to be sorcerers in the future?
Yeah. What was that on the Ouija board?
Yeah, it was on the Ouija board. We're going to be sorcerers, and we're going to beat this guy eventually that we talked to on the Ouija board.
Yeah.
I don't know how he was talking to us on the Ouija board. Sorcery, right? I forgot. He was using sorcery.
Oh my god, yeah, dude. Did we say that? Like, we asked him, like, how are you contacting us? And he just said sorcery.
Sorcery.
See, so who all was playing?
Just me and you.
Okay, so how did our fucking collective conscious...
Did we come up with sorcery? I don't know. Maybe we both like Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe your bride knew you were going to be into Game of Thrones a few years from now.
Yeah. That's funny, though. I mean, it's fascinating. Like, what other ways could you utilize that power? You know, is there, like, a way you could use a Ouija board in therapy? I mean,
unless you were trying to dupe somebody into feeling better. Which, I mean, I guess if it works, it could be justified, but I still think it's a breach of ethics.
Like, how can you unconsciously spell out answers to questions together? You know? That's what's going on, right? That's what's going on. When two people have their fingers on the board...
Maybe you have... Like, after you go, maybe it's like you, after the first time when you go somewhere, you're like, okay, what if he's saying this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, so like...
In your head, you're like, what if it's this?
God, you know what? That makes sense with my experience with a Ouija board. The slowest it is, the slowest movement is always towards that first letter. And that's because after that... your brain starts doing all the work.
There's algorithms going on. It's like hacking in Fallout. It shares this many letters.
Yeah, like where am I gonna die? Starts out with a C. Oh, is it Cincinnati? Could it be? Oh, it's going to
Captain Deez.
It's Captain Deez. No, I don't want to die at Captain Deez.
Too bad, man. Ouija board said it.
Fuck. Self-fulfilling prophecy. I go there the next day. I'm just like sitting there eating my food. I'm like, come on, death.
If you woke up tomorrow and Whitney was like, you know what I really want for some reason? Captain Deez.
Oh, shit.
You would be like, why? Why do you want Captain Deez?
And then I would just feel like there's no way I could avoid it. Like, you know?
It would cause a big argument, and then you go to Captain Deez because you wind up, as most men do, settling on what the woman wants to do. And then you go to Captain Deez and you're so pissed off at the argument you had earlier, you pull out in front of a car and it T-bones and you die.
Yes. Yes.
Self-fulfilling prophecy, my friend.
Yeah. I was going to go with, like, having a heart attack from the anger. But, yeah, yours is much more plausible. But maybe not after eating that greasy Captain Deez, you know what I'm saying? That's got the heart pumping. Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, you're going to be adrenalized.
Adrenalized? You sure I ain't gonna be like the guy from what's that McDonald's movie?
As fuck. I almost said Jesus.
Craig? Is his name Craig something?
I thought you meant the movie where they gave us in kindergarten where McDonald's and his friends go to space.
And he had the big ass shoes and he walked on the fucking what do you call that? God, it's just a fucking mechanism like at an airport, like a moving...
Ramp.
I guess, man. Whatever, man. It's got fucking a big purple fuzzy man in it. You know, why am I getting into the details?
The Hamburglar's a good guy for some reason.
Yeah. He's a fucking oh, yeah, of course McDonald's would say the Hamburglar's a good guy, right?
Oh, yeah. I bet they supported the looting and the riots, too. Sons of bitches.
Organized crime, man. McDonald's is organized crime.
Well, have you ever heard what people say about where the mafia went that were in the mafia? They said they're legitimate businessmen now.
Yeah, I'm sure they
It's
are.
legitimate business. They're legitimate businessmen now. The mafia doesn't exist anymore.
It's legitimate business. I mean, I imagine, though, if you can do good organized crime, I mean, you can do good organized business. I mean,
Especially
it probably
if you can
goes,
break your competitor's fucking legs.
Yeah, for sure. That gives you the leg up, man. No pun intended.
Oh, the leg up. Oh. Where is the... Oh, there they are. My cigarettes were in front of me the whole time, and I was looking all over the place for them. The one that wasn't open yet. See, I like to keep them fresh for as long as I possibly can, because, you know, once you open that pack of cigarettes, they start to dry out. You really want to smoke them quick, so that they don't get all stale on you.
Yeah, I'm loving all the people who have quit smoking or are trying to quit smoking. Listen to this right now. Yeah, man, it's just the saga continues. I mean, guys, you know it. I mean, we love him regardless, but Gunboi is here to promote fucking Marlboro cigarette tobacco company, man. Philip Morris, he said it before. Check him out, guys. Philip Morris. Go to philipmorris.com.
No, just go check out Marlboro.com.
Marlboro.
That's where you get your deals from. I'm not here for you to research the industry part of it. I want you to go and get your deals, your coupons.
Yeah.
Save you money on these wonderful cigarettes. These pure white, beautiful cigarettes.
Yours aren't white. Yours have a brown filter.
Pure
Mine
white.
are the ones with a white filter.
Pure white. Look at that.
I mean, yeah, white at the end, but...
Well, you don't smoke the filter.
Well, I mean...
I don't know why I'm slowly turning into somebody from Maine. But...
Well, you don't smoke... No, that's not at all Maine.
The filter.
I know Maine, we're British. There we go.
You just go up that road a little bit there.
Jimothy, I stole your lighter. And I think I may have stole another one of your lighters, or I stole Gunboi's. Because we don't know.
We don't ever know.
I don't know how it happens, man.
Even when we find out, we don't know, because something else could have happened that looked like that.
That could be the case.
There could be a teapot orbiting around the sun right now. Somebody told me that one time, and I was like, man, that makes so much sense.
I mean, it does make sense, you know? Somebody's probably shot a teapot up into space, right?
What if somebody thought, like, that's the... Like, when people are arguing about God, they're like, well, yeah, there could be a God there's no evidence for, but there also could be a teapot that there's no evidence for orbiting between the Earth and Mars around the sun. And could you imagine if somebody heard that argument and they were like, there could be a fucking teapot up there?
Yeah.
We got to get that fucking teapot, man. I bet that's probably an alien teapot. That probably makes the best tea.
Fuck yeah, dude. It'd sell for a lot of money on eBay.
The teapot that flew between Earth and Mars. I know where we're going to get rich at, Keegan.
Me too, dude.
We're going to find that teapot.
Let's go.
What if people dedicated their lives to finding that teapot?
And like every day on social media, it's just another friend documenting their journey to get it and dying along the way. You know?
You were never sure, like, if it was like a parody. Like, you were never sure if, like, they were doing it to, like, make fun of the concept of people searching for evidence of God.
Yeah, you thought that was it, but it turns out people actually were going to space and dying all around you trying to
Not even in
find
ships, man, just launching themselves out of large catapults. They burn out before they even hit the atmosphere. I'm not surprised they're fucking dead.
But, you know, it's really the effort that matters most. You know,
it's a monumental effort.
And some say, you know, we are made of stars. You've heard that, right? Yes. I
think stars are made of us.
There's some factuality to that, yes. Well, You know, in some sense, being that teapot is within the stars, the realm of the stars, perhaps there's a bit of that teapot in all of us. And perhaps, if we can give that piece of the teapot to the world, we can create the teapot as a whole. That's what I think.
That's what God meant when he said, "This is my body broken for thee." He meant you got to break apart your body to get the parts of the cosmic teapot.
Yes, yes. And then we all pour ourselves a drink and sit down. And I don't know what happens after that.
When we all,
Podcasting happens.
I guess we start warring again because we run out of stuff to do.
And somebody spills the tea.
Somebody spilled the tea and World War III happened. My God. Only in Britain.
I mean, some say that's what the Boston Tea Party was really about. All these guys
kicking off the war, they had to throw the tea into the water. That's the official declaration in the 1700s when we were all sissified.
Those were all the people who believed it was ridiculous to continue the pursuit of.
I say in the 1940s or the 1700s.
I have no idea.
I hope I didn't say the 1940s because that's not that long ago and I fucked up big time.
Yeah, but that's what they were doing, man. They were throwing. It was an act of rebellion, saying we're not going to search for this teapot anymore. You know, that's the monarchs
saying we're not going to take it.
They're saying we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take it.
Oh, no.
I actually think that song's pretty overrated. I can't really enjoy it. It's almost too cheesy 80s for me. You know, like some of that hair metal is too cheesy for me.
See, that's funny because they're actually some of the better musicians from the hair metal movement.
Twisted Sister.
Twisted Sister.
Yeah. What else did they have?
Fucking.
Yeah, with the kid in the music video who like has the fucking military dad.
I said I want to rock.
Yeah, blast him out the window with a snazzy guitar riff.
Did you ever watch any of Dio on stage?
Just the footage of him breaking his ankle.
He all those fucking weird body movements, and he's such a fucking weird character on stage. He's like a cosmic midget. He's so little. He's so little, but he like
little
moves
person,
with the stars.
Little person, a cosmic little person. My God, dude.
Who was it that said it was Ralphie May? I agree with Ralphie May. That's not specific enough.
Yeah.
That
could mean me.
You could mean a child. You could mean someone who's petite. You could mean a Puerto Rican. There's a lot of stuff that could mean.
Yeah, I mean. And that's the second time you've mentioned the little person, and what was it you said? An athlete. Oh, you said your dog was like an athletic midget.
An athletic midget would be the best thing to be, and that's kind of what my dog is like in the world of dogs.
Yeah. I mean, can you imagine like a fucking God damn it, fuck. Are we making fun of? Is this offensive?
Just a yoked midget
that it's
with
hilarious.
like trapezius muscles and like a miniature Brock Lesnar with like a way bigger head, and it's like it's just jumping on people and ripping them to shreds. Is that what you're saying?
I was gonna say a professional NBA player who was a midget, athletic.
Oh, you mean Spud Webb?
Like, no.
Sorry, Spud Webb fans from the fucking 70s.
Was it Spud Webb? Or was it Bugsy Mogs? Is that his name?
Spud Webb's teeny.
Okay.
He had a big.
Yeah, there's another guy who's super, super short too, but
you have to be able to jump if you're as short as Spud Webb.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the difficulty is I don't think the little people have enough potential leg power to jump there, huh?
No, but they do look like they would have the best tasting legs if you ate them.
Is that like whenever, I don't know, there's like this thing in Family Guy where Lois is talking to Stu and she's like, I'm gonna eat that little foot. I'm gonna eat that little foot. Yeah. Like, is that what it is? Like, they're just small and cute and you just want to eat them up? Like, literally?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to literally eat them, saute them, barbecue sauce.
God, I love a good barbecue midget, man.
Best thing about midgets is you don't have to use more than one pan. You can just...
Yeah, you don't got to dirty up a lot of dishes, you know? Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I gotta stop making fun of midgets.
Yeah, it would be harder, you know, if
It's gonna be hard for me to run for president.
Yeah. You know, but what I hope is that the midgets who run up on our show, well, not all of them who run up on it are gonna like it, but
Run up on it.
You know
But
what?
what if you said that and just like a gang of midgets just ran up to the house and they were like, we don't want your show anymore.
That voice, huh? You assume just because they're a little person, they're gonna have a little voice, huh?
That was just my bitchy voice, but if you want me to do a midget, we don't want the show anymore. We don't want the show anymore.
That's a microaggression, and I really don't stand for that on the part of everybody.
I'm sorry, this is a midget safe space. Hey, regular people are not allowed here, Keegan. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, now that we've officially isolated midgets from our audience,
yeah. Now that we've made sure that all the shorties are gone, we can get down to business.
Yeah. So stay tuned for later episodes. Now that we don't have to worry about walk on eggshells around the midge.
Yeah,
you know.
we can start like picking on different groups. Like I think Puerto Ricans have been picked on tonight. We'll pick on them next.
Yeah, we'll go for them. Stay tuned for that. That'll be fun.
And in February we're doing a special on the gays. So
yes,
stay tuned for that.
And also this season, October, actually, we are going to do a legit special about the Juggalo people. So,
hey, that's a repressed minority right there, buddy.
Yeah. And one that we are well versed in.
Actually, that's a better term, repressed minority.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. We'll see you guys next time. If you enjoyed this, subscribe on YouTube, like on there, subscribe on podcasts and shit, and have a great rest of your day or night.
Or life if you died tomorrow.
Yeah, at Captain Deez. Because you and your girlfriend are in an argument about whether or not you're supposed to die at Captain Deez.
What restaurant was that again?
Captain Deez.
Captain Deez nuts.
God damn it! God damn it! God damn it! God damn it!